Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Data network and information system communication. What is a network? A computer network or data network is a telecommunications network which allows computers to exchange data. In computer networks, network computing devices pass data to each other along data connections that are called network links. For example, your phone is part of a network. That is, when you call, you hear someone's voice, that is data from the person's phone, and you send your own voice, that is data from your own phone. And the medium that both of you connect with, which is the radio signals, is called the network links. Data is transferred in the form of packets. That is, instead of transferring data as one single word, it instead collects all of them together and sends in one large bunch. For example, imagine trying to send a picture and you send just a small part of that picture. No, instead it sends the whole picture at once. That is a packet of data. The connections between nodes are established using either cable media or wireless media. Remember, in each network, each computer is called a node. The best known computer network is the internet. Now let us understand this. A computer network facilitates interpersonal communication, allowing people to communicate efficiently and easily via email, IM, that is instant messaging, such as your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your 2Go, chat rooms, telephone, video telephone calls, and video conferencing. Providing access to information on shared storage devices is an important feature of many networks. A network allows sharing of files, data, and other types of information, giving authorized users the ability to access information stored on other computers on the network. Take for example, you have a very nice song on your phone and you want to transfer that data, a content in your own phone, to another person's device, another person's phone, or to a computer. You can on your Bluetooth, which is a network, a file sharing network, and share that file. That is, send the file from your phone to the other person's phone. That is called file sharing. A network allows sharing of network and computing resources. Users may access and use resources provided by devices on the network, such as printing a document on a shared network printer. A network can be characterized by its physical capacity or its organizational purpose. Now I want to now look at the various types of networks. Once you now see how they are being characterized, including the use of the network, their user authorization, and access rights. First of all is nanoscale network, which is a nanoscale communication network that has key components implemented at the nanoscale level. When we talk about nanoscale, we mean very, very tiny scale. And this can include message carriers and leverages physical principles that differ from macro scale, that is, large-scale communication mechanisms. Nanoscale communication extends communication to very small sensors and actuators, such as those found in biological systems, and also tends to operate in environments that will be too harsh for classical communication. Take for example, imagine that doctors want to insert a pacemaker or other small devices into a human body. Such doctors might use nanoscale technology, and for that device to work, it uses nanoscale network. That is an example of a biological system where nanoscale technology is used, because classical technology would not work in such an environment. We also have a personal area network. As the name implies, a personal area network is something that one user uses. This is a computer network that is used for communication among computer and different information technological devices close to one person. For example, a user might have a personal computer, a fax machine, a telephone, a scanner, and a video game console. He might want to connect the 3 or 4 of these things together. That is, maybe connecting his phone to his computer, and maybe connecting the computer to his scanner or his printer. An example that is widely used today is Bluetooth, which our phones uses to send information from one phone to another phone. That is a personal area network. It extends typically to the length of 10 meters distance. We also have a local area network. A local area network, also known as LAN, is a network that connects computers and devices in a limited geographical area. Remember, the first one is a personal area network, and that is about 10 meters. Now, a local area network, even though it's small, is wider than a PAN. That is, it can be a geographical area as small as a home, a school, an office building, or closely positioned group of buildings. Each computer or device on the network is called a node. The defining characteristics of a LAN, in contrast to a wide area network, includes high data transfer and limited geographic range. That is because the distance between computers or between nodes in a LAN is very much smaller. There is higher data transfer. We also have a home area network called a HAN. This is a residential LAN used for communication between digital devices typically deployed in the home. Usually a small number of personal computers and accessories such as a printer and mobile computing devices. An important function is the sharing of internet access, often a broadband service through a cable TV or digital subscriber lines called DSL. We also have a wide area network. As the name implies, this is a much wider network that covers a large geographic area, such as a city, a country, or even intercontinental distances. That is, from here to UK, to US, to India, and that's wide. A wide area network uses communication that combines many types of media, such as telephone lines, cables, and radio waves. A wide area network often makes use of transmission facilities provided by common carriers, such as telephone companies. Now we want to talk about the internet. What is the internet? Well, the internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that use the standard Internet Protocol suite. That is TCP, standing for Task Control Protocol, stroke IP, standing for Internet Protocol. Now what does that mean? It means that there are computers connected in the network, such as a wide area network, a personal area network, and the rest of them. But these networks are now arranged in a larger worldwide network. That is a network of networks. That is the internet. For example, supposing someone right here in London wants to send message to someone right here in Cairo in Egypt. He can connect his computer here in London to a wide area network that covers the whole of Europe. And that can be used to be connected to one that covers the whole of Middle East. And then the internet connects the two systems together. The internet consists of millions of private, public, academic, business, and governmental networks of both local and global scopes, linked by a broad array of electronic, wireless, and optical network technologies. The internet carries an extensive range of information resources and services, such as the interlinked hypertext documents and applications of the World Wide Web, that is WWW, and the infrastructures that support email and peer-to-peer networks for file sharing and telephony. Now, when we go to a web page, we see a hypertext document. That is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, the World Wide Web. When we send an email, we have another transfer protocol that is called the Messaging Protocol, and also we have other networks like our Facebook, that is a peer-to-peer network, and other networks for file sharing, that is our download sites, such as WAPDAM and the rest of them, where we download things from the internet. Now let's talk about the Global Positioning System. The GPS is a state-based satellite navigation system that provides location and time information in all weather conditions, anywhere on or near the Earth, where there is an unobstructed line of sight to 4 or more GPS satellites. Now, a global positioning system uses a satellite as we see this. To function, it uses 6 geostationary satellites, that is, 6 large satellites all across the Earth. All of these satellites positioned in space communicate with one another to send information to each user right here on Earth. The system provides critical capabilities to military, civilian, commercial users around the world. The US government created the system and maintains it, and also makes it available to anyone with a GPS receiver. Now let us look at some application areas of ICT. First, teleconferencing and teleseminars. A teleconference is the live exchange and mass articulation of information among several persons and machines remotely kept from one another but linked by a telecommunication system. For example, supposing someone wants to make a call and join another call in Lagos with another call in New York. That is three callers at the same time. That is called telephone conferencing or phone conferencing. This is also sometimes used to refer to teleconferencing. However, we also have a video conference. Video conferencing means to conduct a conference between two or more participants at different sites by using computer networks to transmit audio and video data. Remember, teleconferencing was audio only, but this now involves video data. For example, a two-person video conferencing system works much like a video telephone. That is, I make a call, I not only hear the person's voice, but I also see his face. However, sometimes we have participants of more than two persons having a video camera, a microphone, and speakers, sending information from one computer to another. As the two or more participants speak to one another, their voices are carried over the network and delivered to the other person's speaker, and whatever images appear in the front of their video camera appears on other person's monitor. Now we also have telecommunication and networking, like our telephones, our networks like we mentioned before, and also have messaging, our SMS, our chat messages, our instant messaging. That is, our Facebook, Tugo, WhatsApp, and all the rest of them is application areas of ICT. Now let's also look at some of the application areas. This is telepresence. Now, unlike video conferencing, telepresence goes a step further to allow a person to feel as if the person was present in a particular location, even though he is not there. Telepresence requires that the user's senses be provided with such stimuli as to give the feeling of being in that other location. Additionally, users may be given the ability to affect the remote location. In this case, the user's position, movements, actions, voice may be sensed, transmitted, and duplicated in the remote location to bring about this effect. Therefore, information may be traveling in both directions between the user and the remote location. Now let us take a look at this. For example, if Mr. A here may be living in UK wants to talk to Mr. B here in US. Now, Mr. A may not have the means to travel from UK to US. What would he do? He owns his telepresence machine there in the UK, and here Mr. B owns his own in the US. What happens? He can both see, hear, and communicate both ways to Mr. B, and Mr. B also can communicate with him. Let us now look at some ICT-based gadgets. For example, our ATM machines. That is an ICT-based gadget. We plug in our cards, it reads it deducts money from our account, and it pays us money. We also have our point-of-sale systems, where we can use our machines or money to pay and buy products. We also have our handheld point-of-sale service systems, whereby someone plugs in his debit or credit card and he can use it to pay and receive money from any account. We also have our mobile telephones, from the ancient ones right here to the more modern ones that we see today. And finally, and much more importantly, we have our computers. All of these are some of the ICT-based gadgets that we have today. There are so much more of them.